Hello and welcome. My name is Robby Moore, and in this video we'll be looking at 2019's top 10 songs and what they say about American culture. Since the first music recordings were sold in the late 19th century, Americans have been obsessed with pre-recorded music. Now, the music industry is a multi-billion-dollar empire cranking out new music non-stop. However, not all music becomes as popular as some. In the year of 2019, the 10 most consumed songs in the United States were Old Town Road Remix by Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus, Sunflower by Post Malone and Sway Lee, Without Me by Halsey, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, Wow by Post Malone, Happier by Marshmello and Bastille, Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, Talk by Khalid, Sicko Mode by Travis Scott, and Sucker by the Jonas Brothers. Now if you're wondering where I got this list, these are the top 10 from Billboard's Hot 100 Songs year-end charts. Billboard decides the Hot 100 through a complex algorithm, taking into account physical and digital sales, radio plays, and internet streams on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and so on. To understand the cultural importance of these songs, first we'll explore the overarching similarities and themes in the music and in the lyrics. Once we understand the main concepts, we'll delve into the outliers, the songs that don't necessarily fit in the mold with the others. From these, we will be able to draw reasonable conclusions about American culture. There's a reason why these tracks are the top 10 most consumed songs in the United States during the year of 2019, besides great marketing and promotion. There's something about them that resonates with American audiences, and that's what we're going to discover. Now let's take a look at some common themes that permeated through 2019's top 10. Musically speaking, the top 10 shared many attributes. The pop genre dominated the scene with 5 songs, whereas there were only 2 songs from rap hip-hop and only 1 each from EDM, R&B, and country rap. In general, their song length stays around the 3-minute mark, averaging out at about 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Structurally, almost all of them follow a verse-chorus pattern in duple meter. All of these similarities show that American audiences prefer what's been done before, what's comfortable and familiar, and the shorter song lengths possibly reflect the modern listener's shorter attention spans. However, despite their commonalities, the feel of each song varies from one to another. Sucker is lighthearted and fun. Without Me is sad and mournful, and Bad Guy is dark and kind of uncomfortable. The lack of shared attributes in song feel almost contradicts what I just said a moment ago. It actually points towards American audiences' love of variety. More accurately, it means that Americans prefer variation, but only if that variation is wrapped in a somewhat familiar box. Lyrical analysis provides completely different insights about American culture than the music. When studying the lyrics, the first thing I did was throw all of the songs into a word bank and see if there were any similar words that showed up throughout multiple songs. To my surprise, I found nothing, which is actually quite astounding. The fact that none of the top 10 shared similar word choices shows the diversity in songwriting that listeners enjoy, again pointing to a love of variety in American culture. Before we move further, I want to make an important note about the actual words. I noticed that 4 of the 10 songs were marked explicit. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe this means that as a culture, the US isn't so concerned about making popular content that is family friendly. Maybe it prefers music that is more mature, or at least doesn't mind the use of swear words. As to the meaning of the lyrics, I boiled most of them down into 2 main categories: relationship/love songs and boast tracks. By boast track, I mean songs where the lyrics are rather self-absorbed and meant to convey the performer's own personal greatness, by showing off either their own social or economic status, or the hardships they've overcome through their own efforts. Now, songs about relationship and love have likely always existed. It's a relatable and important part of the human experience, so it's no surprise that half of the top 10 songs deal with that. What's interesting is that 4 of the 5 remaining songs not about relationships are boasts. Songs like this are actually very American. Their message is synonymous with the American dream. They show people's desire for success and self-reliance, and take great pride in their rags to riches stories. This can be both a positive and a negative sign about modern US society. On one hand, it shows the hard work and determination of the American people to defy all odds, to overcome, and to be free. On the other hand, this suggests what might be viewed as negative qualities that the American culture suffers, such as selfishness, arrogance, and materialism. Most of the top 10 songs fit into a particular mold, either with their music or with their lyrical themes. However, there are 3 songs that break that mold. The first I want to mention is Travis Scott's Sicko Mode. With its length of 5 minutes and 12 seconds, it's nearly twice as long as 3 of the other songs. Also, its song structure is vastly different. The others follow a very pop-oriented verse-chorus structure, while it takes Sicko Mode a full minute before it gets into gear, and then it changes tempo from 140 BPM to 150 BPM. Also, there isn't a true chorus in it either. There are some repeated lyrics, but no real chorus. Though audiences generally prefer songs with catchy lyrics that pick up the pace right away, the appeal of actually listening to a song and letting it take you on a journey has not altogether gone away, as is proof with Sicko Mode. The second outlier is Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. Bad Guy has a much more intense and subtly aggressive sound to it, almost to the point that it makes the listener uncomfortable, vastly different from your typical pop song. It also ends on a completely different note, with a coda that drops the tempo from 135 BPM down to 60 BPM. On top of its darker sound, the song is a tongue-in-cheek critique of American culture and the personas that people, including celebrities, put on. It's the only one that didn't fit in with the other lyrical themes of relationships and boasts. Fronted by an 18-year-old young woman, it's surprisingly self-aware and empowering while challenging the very nature of the boast songs, which is why I believe it resonates so much with American audiences. Finally, the song that stands out most is Lil Nas X's Old Town Road. The amazing thing about Old Town Road is its ability to combine unlike things. For instance, the mix of country and rap, two genres that don't typically combine well, yet Lil Nas X does it here seamlessly and to great acclaim. This mixture of genres is more than just stylistic sound choices. It's also a combination of cultures, of black and white. Rap being a generally black-dominated music, and country mostly white. The addition of Billy Ray Cyrus on the track only furthers the message. Lyrically, Old Town Road at first just seems like a boast, not unlike Sicko Mode or Wow. However, it's much more than that. On a deeper level, it is Lil Nas X expressing his desire for personal freedom, to run away from the things that hold him down and make a way for himself. Coming from the mouth of a gay black man, the message is pretty powerful. The fact that Old Town Road is the #1 song from 2019 shows how deeply it resonated with American audiences. I think that's because deep down in American culture, there's a desire for acceptance and harmony, despite our differences. America has been known as a melting pot of cultures and peoples, and I think Old Town Road is the perfect example of that. In all, I believe the top 10 songs of 2019 show the multifaceted culture of America. Differing structures, styles, feels, meanings, and peoples all point towards America's love for variety. As a whole, American culture values freedom and diversity, traits that have lasted throughout the years and have carried over into 2019's top 10 songs.